Another person who may have played a role in covering up stories for the president, David Pecker, publisher of the National Enquirer. He was granted immunity for his testimony in the Cohen investigation. And here with me now, Stu Zakim, former senior vice president at American Media, Inc., parent company of the Enquirer. Stu, with a welcome to you. I want to make clear to our viewers that you did leave AMI more than 10 years ago. But there was a relationship established already between David Pecker and the president by that time. Can you share how close they were?
Sure, Alex. I just want to say it's a little awkward being here talking about this, interrupting your coverage on the life of an American hero, a leader we can all be proud of. That said, him and Trump were friends for quite a while, going back to the 80s when magazines ruled New York City.
Okay. And the nature of their friendship is what? Social? I mean, they wouldn't necessarily be professional. I mean, did they go out to dinner a lot? Did they talk on the phone? I mean, what was your sense of that?
Well, one thing you have to remember with David Pecker, everything is business. So whether he was social or not, it still was a business relationship that he had with Trump. So if they went out to dinner, it was about business, about being seen together, creating this image for themselves.
So what did they get from each other? Was it really just kind of a marriage inconvenience? Was it a publicity thing?
It was kind of publicity way, but on the other hand, they're both very similar people. If you, having worked with David and seeing what we were seeing about Trump, they're kind of clones of each other. They operate the same way. They position their people against each other the same way. We know they speak mistruths or lies a lot. However, they definitely fed off of each other. I think that's probably the best way to say it. Okay,
so you're saying ways in which they are very similar. Donald Trump is widely regarded to be someone who can be very charming one-on-one. Did you find that with David Pecker as well?
Absolutely. He can be the most charming man in the world, and he has done that for years with financial people, with advertisers, with editors. He really can charm the pants off of anybody when he wants to.
Okay, and we've also heard about, or been concerned about the president when he gets backed into a corner and see the way that he behaves and he comes lashing out. If for no other way we can regard that would be through the way he goes through his tweet storms. How about David Pecker? What about him? How's he when he's backed into a corner?
Well, he's very similar to Trump again. He does fight back. I have no idea what's going on there now, and obviously with him having made the deal for immunity, there's probably a lot of relaxation. The tension has to be a little less. But he definitely pushes back, and he has tools at his disposal that he can use that other people don't. You have to understand the amazing amount of properties that AMI publishes. It's just not the Enquirer. They have health and fitness magazines, and they really own the celebrity category right now.
Okay. What is it with this safe? Can you tell us about this? Were the Trump secrets reportedly kept? Did you ever get a look inside of it? I mean, it seems like other former AMI employees have been pretty curious about this, too.
Well, I must say I did not get a look at that. And in all honesty, when I was there, I spent a lot of my time on the other publications that they published. Clearly, the Enquirer was one of the books that took a lot of attention, but the focus wasn't on that. So I was not as intimately involved where I would have seen those secrets.
Okay, why did the National Enquirer take so much attention? Was it because it was a big moneymaker? Was it because it's constantly putting out headlines that are either shocking or not true or have some little kernel of the truth that they've spun?
Well, in its heyday, in its heyday, when print was still really a valid platform, the Enquirer made a lot of money off of newsstand sales, and that's what it boiled down to. And David knew how to tweak those newsstand sales. They had it's been covered before, an incredible amount of information about what worked on what cover and what topics worked the best. So he would use that information to get newsstand sales.
Do you know whether David Pecker would clear things with Donald Trump from an editorial standpoint, saying to him, hey, Donald, give him a call. We're going to put this story on. It's about you, perhaps, for better or for worse. Did he have that kind of relationship with him?
I don't know firsthand, but I would imagine he does, because in the world of celebrities, which Trump is and was, with publications, there's always a lot of give and take between negotiation for a cover story or a big feature. And a powerful publicist can make certain rules in there that they do get to see the story before it goes out. It doesn't just happen in AMI titles. I want to make sure you're aware of that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty pervasive throughout the print industry.
Yeah. What could David Pecker have possibly given up in exchange for immunity?
That's a really good question, Alex. I wish I had the answer to that. I really don't have a clue, but you can only imagine it had to be something significant to make that deal.
Yes. Well, Stu Zakim, you have waited a significant amount of time because of our coverage of John McCain and getting to speak with Steve Schmidt earlier in the last hour. So thank you very much for being so gracious and sticking around.
Well, thank you for having me, Alex.
Okay. Coming up next, how to interpret the cooperation of former Trump allies with investigators. Does it really mean the president is the ultimate target?